I want to play you a video by a mutual of mine on social media, Chris Mills. I want you to listen to this video, and then I want to come back and I want to give my 2 cents, adding something to what he's saying here.
Anybody else watch Nick Fuentes crash out? This Epstein thing's not going away. Hold on, watch this.
And now he says if you're not on board with the Epstein cover-up, I don't want your support. You're a weakling. Fuck you. You suck. You are fat. You are a joke. You are stupid. You are not funny. You are not as smart as you think you are.
I'm not going to sit here and say that this whole thing's going to be the end of MAGA or the end of the administration thing. That's crazy work because we've seen so much already. What I am going to say is this is not going to go away. It's not going to go quietly in the night. Think about the timeline of everything that just happened over the last month, just in regards to this, to the Epstein files. From the announcement and the timing of that announcement to the reaction of the administration, now you have these stories coming out like this one right here, and everything that this implies, which now makes it seem like not only was the administration trying to bury this whole thing with the timing of the announcement, but they were trying to get ahead of this from coming out so that they could try and control the narrative. Like I said, I'm not going to say that this is going to be the downfall of the administration, but you're taking a group of people who have been wrapped in conspiracy theories for the past 25 years. You're taking one of the largest conspiracies that they've had to cling to, and you're now implicating yourself in it by saying there's nothing here. As a matter of fact, the people that we thought this was going to implicate, the people that we thought we were going to catch, are actually the people who wrote this. The Bidens, the Obamas, the Clintons. They're the ones who wrote the whole Epstein file. Wait, but you said that those were going to be the people that it would bring to light. Nah, there's nothing in here. We're going to stop investigating, and you guys should stop asking. That's not how this works. They are not going to let this go. No one should let this go. But his constituents, his voters, MAGA, are not going to just drop this and move on. They have been primed for the past 25 years to buy into conspiracies, and this one is right up there at the top. And when they find out that they've been lied to yet again, so here I was about to post that. I hop in my car, pop on the news, and it looks like Dick Durban basically just said that the FBI was told as they reviewed the Epstein documents to flag anytime they saw the president's name. Well, if the president had nothing to do with this, then why is his name in the documents at all? Like, if you didn't have anything to do with this, and it's a hoax, and it was written by Democrats, then release the documents. And release your evidence showing that it's a hoax. Be done with it. But the more and more they do this, the more and more they beat around the bush, the more and more conspiracy is going to wrap around this. And eventually they're not going to be able to get away from it. Like this, I'm going to keep saying this isn't going anywhere.
No, it's not. Let me add to that. It could be the downfall of the administration. The timing of all of this, the smell of all of this, it's very Watergate-y. Let me explain what I mean here, right? Donald Trump seemingly freaked out on this one. He filed a $10 billion lawsuit by himself, like representing himself, unless what I saw was completely fake. He filed a $10 billion lawsuit without lawyers. That, to me, is the sign of a manic man just fucking, like, swinging. He shit on his own supporters, sort of freaked out and threw out Tulsi Gabbard to say that, we should arrest former President Obama. Like, they're freaking out and they're throwing shit against the wall. And it smells like what Richard Nixon was going through when all of the Watergate shit was starting to hit, which happened coincidentally, at the beginning of his second term in office. Richard Nixon won re-election by a fucking landslide, and then all that shit hit right away, right? And so when you take a look at the parallels, and when you take a look at everything that's going on, especially the fact that the day before, I think it was, the Wall Street Journal put out this letter from Donald Trump to Jeffrey Epstein. J.D. Vance makes an unannounced, unscheduled visit to Rupert Murdoch's house that nobody fucking knew about. What was that about? Is J.D. Vance talking to Rupert Murdoch about the next administration to come after the 25th Amendment, Donald Trump? Or after they get enough evidence out there of him trafficking in children that somehow the Republican Party finally grows a spine and removes him? I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I'm saying look at the similarities between what happened with Richard Nixon and what's happening with Donald Trump as far as the timing of everything goes, as far as the same pattern of freaking out, the Saturday Night Massacre and all of that shit. Donald Trump is just throwing shit against the wall. And people will say, Tom, he typically throws shit against the wall. This is nothing new. But it sort of is, right? Like, he always uses lawyers when he files a lawsuit, right? Putting somebody out there saying, okay, we have irrefutable evidence that Barack Obama was guilty of treason. Well, now you've backed yourself into a corner. You kind of got to file charges now, don't you? He's just flailing away. And I'm not so sure that the Republican Party isn't ready to get rid of him just yet. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying he's a liability to the midterms, right? He's nuttier than a fucking squirrel turd, and he's getting crazier by the fucking day. Now he's throwing out there that anybody that believes that the Epstein lists are real and the whole Epstein story is real is a weakling doing the Democrats' work. Maybe this is what the Republican Party needs to get rid of this motherfucker. That's not to say that I'm going to be fucking thrilled with a President J.D. Vance either, but it might fracture the party. It very well might. This is good, because you're right. The Epstein shit isn't going anywhere. It is not going away. And, you don't think Donald Trump's going to remember? Fuck you, you're fat, you're stupid, you're not as smart as you think you are. That's Nick Fuentes finally saying what he truly believes. How many more people in the Republican Party are going to start finally saying what they truly believe? Because here's the next step for all of these motherfuckers. Next summer, they all have to answer whether or not they believe the Epstein shit's real, because they're all going to get asked it. Anybody running for a spot on the GOP ticket is going to be asked, do you believe, and the Democratic ticket, do you believe the Epstein files are real? Do you believe there's a client list? They're all going to have to be on record. And if they dodge it, that is going to hurt some people in Republican areas, because these Republican voters were told they were going to get all the answers. And all they got told was how fucking stupid they were. Yeah, this ain't going anywhere, folks.